Ready, Maggie?
Yes.
Ready?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's now 6 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order for Monday, August 8, 2022. Have a roll call.
Inline,
Here.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Here.
Shields,
Here.
Brandon,
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Our invocation now will be given by Pastor Eddie Fig of the Highland Park Baptist Church. If everyone please stand, remain standing for the pledge. Also, Pastor, I would like for you, we're going to take just a moment of silence in memory of Mike Inline and his family, and passing of his lovely wife, Kathy. And I'd like to ask you to say a special prayer for those folks, Pastor, and their family. If you want to come up, thank you. Let's take just a moment of silence. Amen, Pastor.
Mike, I want you to know you got a lot of people praying for you.
Appreciate that.
God's goodness, grace, and mercy is going to take care of it. I like what you said. She's in a better place than we are. And that's so true.
For sure.
But you still got a lot of people praying for you.
Thank you very much.
Heavenly Father, in a very, very special way, first of all, we call on you as the God of all comfort. And I just pray you'd reach down tonight and touch Mike and all of his family, and wrap your arms around them, and draw them real close to you, and give them that peace that only you can give. And Father, I just pray in the days ahead, when it's hard, that he'll be able to lean on you and find that strength that he needs to keep on keeping on. And thank you for all the friends and family that he has that loves his family so much. He's going to continue to pray for him. And Father, I lift up this council tonight as they come to carry out the business of our city. I thank you for each one of them, and I pray you give them godly wisdom tonight as they seek to do your will in all the business that they do. And Father, I just pray that you touch each one of them tonight, not just mine, but you touch each one of them tonight, and fill them with your strength and your power, and help them to be exactly what you'd have them to be from you as they represent this city. Thank you for all that they do for us. We just lift them up and ask your blessings upon them. Pray this business meeting tonight will be orderly, and I pray it'll be fruitful tonight. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. I'll ask the city attorney and the judge-elect to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. Okay, if there's not any changes to the previous minutes, do I have a motion to approve those?
Motion approved.
Motion, Mr. Shields, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Brandon, discussion. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Have a couple of announcements I'd like to make. We've got several things we need to add to tonight's agenda. Item number 8 is by way of the police department to accept a bid, and I think Chief White has laid that out in front of you. It's actually not a bid, it's a quote. This particular company, it's sort of like buying stuff on state contract. It's Sourcewell Bidding Corporation, is that right?
Cooperative.
Cooperative.
Yes, sir.
And so it's a contract dealing with body cameras, tasers, and in-car cameras. And it's, this was budgeted in the 22-23 budget. So I would ask that we add that as number 8, the possible purchase of that equipment.
Make a motion be added.
Police Commissioner makes a motion, have a second.
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor, discussion, roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Also, like to add as number 9, a possible employment for Katie Bartlett to fill a vacancy in Parks and Rec. We had someone to resign, and the Personnel Committee, Ms. Scott brought this to me and asked that we add that as number 9 to consider her for employment. Katie Bartlett, I think you may have her application in front of you, and Ms. Kelso laid out. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Vice Mayor, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shields. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Also, add item number 10 is to request for downtown merchants and Vice Mayor to close the street off from 5:30 to 9:30 for a, what's it called, Vice Mayor? Is it a
It's
Halloween
Halloween Town.
town? From 5:30 to 9:30. And I know they'll get with the street department and police department and coordinate through them. Ask that you add that as item number 10.
Saturday.
I'll make a motion.
Uh,
October
October
29th.
29th, from 5:30 to 9:30. Mr. Brandon makes a motion, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shields, discussion, roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
And recognize Dr. Barber, as school superintendent, who is with us tonight. Dr. Barber, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Also, the city attorney would like to address council before we adjourn tonight. Everybody don't get excited right now. He's got something he wants to say to us. Also, I'd like to announce, and I don't think this will change, the Boyd Foundation dog grant check will be delivered here at City Hall and presented to myself and the city on August the 17th at 10 a.m. You may recall that the city received a $25,000 grant from the Boyd Foundation and ran into Commissioner Boyd a few days ago and thanked he and his wife for such a great gift in addition to the Lonesome Park. So we're excited to receive that. That'll be on August the 17th, 10 a.m. If y'all would like to come by and thank those folks and have a picture taken. I think that is all for right now. At this time, does anyone here like to comment on something that's on tonight's agenda? If not, we'll go into agenda number 1, consideration of city council regarding the acceptance and expenditure of revenues for the 2022 dog park dash grant in the amount of $25,000. I think this is part of the grant. City council has to accept it and do the expenditures on as well, right, Ms. Kelso?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'll make it.
Mr. Brandon makes a motion, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Simpson. Discussion, roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Item number 2 is consideration of city council regarding approval of memorandum of understanding with the Loudoun County Board of Education for the city of North City use of their property located at the Loudoun County Technological Center for softball recreational teams. Mr. Keith here.
No, he's not here. He's actually downstairs doing sign-ups, so I'll take this one.
Okay.
He brought this before us, due to the fact we have been potentially needing to utilize this field that is owned by the Loudoun County Board of Education for our softball recreation teams. This basically just allows us to utilize that property for that purpose. Obviously, Loudoun County Board of Ed would have priority, over anything that we would do, but this just puts in writing, and gives us a little more, rights as far as that field goes. So I believe they've been using it since the spring.
Okay. Any discussion? Got a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Henline, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shields. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3 is consideration of planning commission's recommendation regarding ordinance providing planning services for certain properties proposed for annexation to the city of Lenoir City by ordinance pursuant to 651-102 of the Tennessee Code annotating said property being approximately 10.28 acres located off Myers Road and Simpson Road, furthermore identified as Loudoun County tax map 15, parcels 30700, 30701, and 30800 being located within the Lenoir City urban growth boundaries. This is the first reading. Ms. Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. On the back of your ordinance, there's a map attachment, it's 3 separate parcels, just a little over 10 acres. They're requesting to be annexed, it's on the backside of Carrington and dead ends into Simpson Road there. They're being asked to be annexed within R3, high density residential district zoning classification. It did go through planning commission and was passed unanimously. There is someone here tonight with the project, if you have any questions for me.
Okay. Mr. Sampson, you sit on that board. You got anything you want to add?
I do not, Mayor. It was unanimous after quite a bit of discussion that we recommend to council that it be dealt with.
Okay. Is that a form of a motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Simpson makes a motion for approval in the first reading. Have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Henline. Discussion.
Are they gonna extend the road to it?
Mr. Simpson.
About 100 foot?
No, I don't think we discussed that. We did discuss doing a traffic study to see how much it impacts both the streets, but we did not, to my knowledge. Mr. Myers, you said on that also. Did we talk about the 100-foot extension?
Yes, we did.
I'm sorry.
I recommended that, and we voted to approve that along with the other annexation, to take the street in just as far down as the property goes. Probably be 100 feet in addition on Myers Road, all of these.
Ms. Collins.
Once that comes back, the site plan comes back to the planning commission, if we, if the board so chooses, and after that site plan discussion, that it is recommended to annex that portion of Myers Road, then that annexation request would come back before this board, as that is not included in this current ordinance. But that certainly could come back before the board once site plan is looked at and reviewed.
Okay. Anyone else? Got a motion second?
Yes.
Roll call, Ms. Patty.
Henline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Item number 4 is consideration of planning commission's recommendation regarding ordinance providing planning services for certain properties proposed for annexation to the city of Lenoir City by ordinance pursuant to 651-102 of the Tennessee Code annotating said property being approximately 1.1 acres located at 7859 and 9421 Shawberry Road, furthermore identified as Loudoun County tax map 15, parcels 111.00 and 102.00 being located within the Lenoir City urban growth boundaries. This is the first reading, Ms. Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. On the back of your ordinance, you'll see the map attachment. This is 2 small parcels to the east and west of the Cheatham property behind Walmart, and it's just a little over an acre with those 2 combined. And so they are requesting those 2 to be annexed in to be part of the larger portion. Those would be zoned R2, medium density residential district. There is someone here with the development. It did go through planning commission and was passed unanimously.
Okay. Mr. Simpson.
Mayor, that was at the request of the Cheatham family, those 2 little corners, and they requested that be annexed into the city to match the rest of the property there.
All right. Got a motion?
So
I'll make
moved.
that motion.
Okay. Second.
By Ms. May, Mr. Henline, and Mr. Simpson on the First one, Mr. Shields on the second. All right. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Item number 5 is consideration of planning commission's recommendation regarding ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Lenoir City, Tennessee, pursuant to 137204 of the Tennessee Code annotated to rezone portions of property located at 7889 Chalker Road and all property at 300 Ruby Lane from C3 Highway Commercial District to R2 Medium Density Residential District and R3 High Density Residential District. This is the first reading, Ms. Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is the large section of that same property, of the Cheetah property behind Lenoir, plus an additional parcel to the right. Right now, the separate parcel to the right is on C3, and they are requesting R3 for that singular one. The larger portion has split zoning on it currently. It has a C3 and an R2 zoning. They're wanting to reconfigure that some to leave some C3 on the leg right beside the Walmart, and then in the back portion, rezone some to R3 and some to R2. There's a color-coded map attachment on your ordinance. And again, someone is here with the development, and I'm also happy to answer any questions. It did go to the planning commission and was unanimously approved.
Okay, Mr. Simpson?
No, Mr. Chairman, that was a unanimous recommendation that this be honored. Recommend to the council.
Okay, is that a motion?
It is, yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Simpson makes a motion, have a second.
Make a second.
Second by Vice Mayor, any other discussion? Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Item 6 is consideration of planning commission's recommendation regarding ordinance to amend the zoning map of the city of Lenoir City, Tennessee, pursuant to 137204 of the Tennessee Code annotated to rezone property located off Old Highway 95, 9th Avenue and Motor Drive from R1 Low Density Residential District to R3 High Density Residential District. Ms. Collins.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the old Lenoir City Company property that Mr. Albert Bell bought at their sale when they sold it off several years ago. There's a map attachment on the back of the ordinance. There's about 4 parcels, one very large, and then a few smaller ones, so about 65, give or take, acres. And they are asking their rezoning from R1 to R3. There is someone here with the development. It did go through the planning commission and was passed unanimously.
Okay, Mr. Simpson.
Yes, sir, that was also unanimous that this be rezoned. That's a local developer that's interested in doing that property. And it's a challenge for him. He knows that, very well aware of it. But I think it'll take a long time to develop it out, but we did approve the rezoning.
All right, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Henline, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shields, discussion. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields. Shields.
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Collins, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Item 7, and I'll call your attention to a little typo there. It says consideration of the planning commission's recommendation. It should just say consideration of recommendation regarding ordinance. That was a typo. Planning commission's accidentally got inserted in the agenda. Mr. City Attorney, do we need to change that by vote, or is it, since I called their attention to it, or is it? Okay. Mr. City Attorney says we need to vote for B say to delete that language, planning commission out of there. So I'll entertain a motion to delete that language.
I'll make that motion.
Vice Mayor makes a motion, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Brandon, discussion. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Okay, consideration, recommendation regarding ordinance to designate 2 handicap parking spaces in front of a residence located at 308 East First Avenue. This is the first reading. And I know Judge A is anxious to speak with very plain language, and I know he's got a reason for it.
Recommend that we create that.
All right,
Yes, thank you.
thank you. Got that. Entertain a motion.
I'll make it. Second.
Mr. Brandon, second, Mr. Kim, Ms. Bonnie. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hans,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
All right,
Okay, item number 8, one of the items that we added to, accept Axon, which is, Sourcewell bidding, similar to a state contract to purchase the, body cameras, in-car cameras, and tasers for the police department, a budgeted item. Does anyone have any questions about that? Keith, you want to come up and give just a brief explanation?
If you remember when we were talking about these 3 items on the budget, they are very expensive items, but very well needed. And you've got the 3 broken out between the body-worn cameras and the in-car camera and the taser that you've got before you. And through Sourcewell, it is an Axon product. It's the same equipment that we've had in the past. It's just the tasers that we purchased probably a decade ago were obsolete now. They don't support that technology any longer, so we had to do this. And then, of course, our in-car cameras as well had started to fail. So the recommendation would be to go with all new and it is budgeted.
I know you and your department has researched it and tried out several different, as far as the cameras go, tried out, and who has the best support system, correct?
That is correct. This system is on a 60-month program. So after 2.5 years, we will be issued new tasers, new body cameras, and all the software updates that will go along with the in-car cameras. All that is free. That is part of the package for the next 60 months. So we'll have no out-of-pocket costs, which we always had in the past with the 2 previous companies that we've used. I think we first went to the in-car video cameras back in 2007. And so we've always had to continually repair and pay throughout the years just due to the fact that they get broken. And so with this program, if one of the cameras gets broken during a daily shift, and they replace that camera. So it's a cloud-based program. So before we had to come in and download all that footage into our own hard drive. So now it's all captured and goes back into a cloud-based product that's owned by Axon.
And obviously this day and time, it's more important than ever to be sure we never lose it.
Absolutely. And we are covered through that 60-month period. They had to come and testify for us. They do that as well.
Is that free charge?
That's part of the package.
All right, you've heard Chief of Police's recommendation. Any questions? Entertain a motion?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion, Mr. Shields, second by the Police Commissioner. Roll call, Ms. Frank.
Inline,
Yes.
Hans,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
The second item that we added to tonight's agenda is a recommendation by the Bowie Committee that we hire Katie Bartlett, Parks and Rec, to fill a into the Parks and Recs to fill a vacancy that occurred. Chairman Shields, do you have anything you want to add?
I just,
I know you're a little hoarse.
vacancies are a little open, and we need someone to fill vacancies. She comes highly recommended by some respected people in the business line, and we recommend that we are
Okay.
for our position.
All right. Is that a motion?
Make a motion, yes.
Chairman Shields makes a motion, have a second.
Second.
second by Vice Mayor, or Mr. Brandon, either one, Ms. Maggie. Discussion. Roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Item number 10, the third item that we added to tonight's agenda is, request to close the street off downtown. And Vice Mayor, can you give us that location exactly? Is it normal as from Kingston to B?
It is Kingston to be, and we're gonna be in the parklet, and, I think the food trucks are gonna be located back closer to the museum, but pretty much our normal area.
And that's on October the 29th from 5:30 to 9:30, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Entertain a
Wait a
motion.
minute, I'm sorry, Saturday, the 29th.
What did I say? I said October 29th, correct?
I didn't know if you said Friday, I'm sorry, you're not on here. So,
Uh,
yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
Saturday, the 29th,
All
so
right.
make sure.
All right. Okay, Saturday, October the 29th, from 5:30 to 9:30, from Houston Street to B Street and, most of Depot. And I'll, entertain a motion.
We'll make it move.
Motion, Mr. Brandon, have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shields. Discussion, roll call.
Inline,
Yes.
Hines,
Aye.
Wampler,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon,
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
All right, this time, the city attorney, the judge-elect, is asked to speak. I think he's gonna go down to the podium, we can face everyone. And over to him.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to speak to you all. And I really want to thank you for the opportunity that I've had to serve as your city attorney for the last 6.5 years. It's been my honor. I've been blessed. And ever since the first time I met with the mayor, told him that I was interested. I think you all had a vacancy at that time. Had to buy him breakfast because he said he lost his billfold, didn't have his billfold with him. So I had to buy him breakfast that first day, but that didn't bother me. I didn't really know him, but got to meet him and got to know him over the last 6.5 years. And I'm from Loudoun County, as you all probably know, and I love this county. I love this city. I can't think of a better leader, and I've become friends with the mayor. I really have. I'm not gonna hide that, but I can't think of a better leader that this town could have. And I'm not that experienced in administrative, workings of a municipality like I probably should be. But from what I've seen in the last 6.5 years, the leadership, including the city council, is beyond reproach. I've also gotten to know that you members of the city council, you've been friends to me. You supported me. I know we all have lost a spouse, which I'm not over that yet. I don't know if I ever will be, but and I know others have. But you showed me your support during that time, and I'm saying that I'm truly thankful. That's words that I really mean. That I'm sure it doesn't extend to what it should extend with regards to my paying back of you all for this opportunity. So with regards to being the city attorney, obviously my last day will be at the end of this month, August 31st. I truly hope and pray that all of you all continue to do well, continue to make wise decisions, and I'll be around to help if needed. I don't know who the new city attorney's going to be. I actually will miss this position. I really will. Miss the city council meetings, miss talking with people prior to city council meetings. I've learned a lot about everybody. So I wish you all well in what jobs you all have to do. And I regret having to leave, but I'm happy about why I leave. Y'all didn't fire me or anything. I got another position. So, to that end, thank you. Thank you very much for everything you've done for me. I know what you've done for me pales in comparison to what I've done for you. So, thanks. Now, with regard to the election that this was completed, I had a lot of people that helped me. A lot of people, I could not have done it myself. A lot of people supported me, and I'm thankful for that. I got a lot of good advice. I'm thankful for that. I would like to thank and congratulate the two ladies that ran for the position also. I know that they really and truly wanted the position. I congratulate them for their hard work. I'm sorry that they were not as successful as maybe I was, but we all have those successes and not successful adventures in our lives, and I've had both. So I'm grateful to the voters of the city of Lenoir City for allowing me to become the next Lenoir City judge. Now, with regard, and I know there's been a lot of questions about what I make as the Lenoir City attorney, what the Lenoir City judge makes or makes now as the Lenoir City judge, and what this body has done with regard to the changing of the pay. To be honest with you, I would have served for certain benefits such as health insurance, retirement, if I could have received that as the Lenoir City attorney. I truly believe in this county, in this city. I want to help it. I don't want to hurt it. I don't think I did anything to hurt this city. My concentration and goals were always to help this city in any way I could. And those would be my same goals as the Lenoir City judge. I do not have any hesitation to attempt to work as hard as I can work to make our court system as important and as valued as it needs to be. And to that end, and I know I mentioned this to the print media during the election process, I've had goals in mind even before I decided to qualify in February and run for this position. And certain of those goals are a direct result of me serving as the Lenoir City attorney and also the prosecutor in Lenoir City Court for the last 6.5 years. And as you all know, Lenoir City Court has only operated 1 day a week. Our dockets have only been 1 day a week. At the same time, when we've only had dockets for 1 day a week, our cases in Lenoir City, the Lenoir City officers who make criminal cases in Lenoir City have been taking these cases to Loudon. I haven't talked to the officers as to why. I haven't explored every reason why these cases have been taken to Loudon. I don't know how long they've been taken to Loudon. I do know that they have been taken to Loudon for at least the last 6.5 years. And what I would propose, and I've spoken with the two Loudon judges, the Honorable Rex Dell and Hank Sledge. And if you go down, me in private practice, I've had this opportunity. They have criminal court in Loudon once a week on Wednesdays. And if you go down to Loudon, and they're two very qualified judges, if you go down to Loudon, you can't find a parking space because of all the people that are there for a 1 day a week docket on all Loudon County cases, including Lenoir City. Then you go in to court, and the prosecution, the judges are trying to do their best in handling such a huge docket every Wednesday that they don't even get out of there till 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night sometimes. Well, I have spoken with the judges in Loudon, and I have proposed long before the election what they would think about if we got those cases, those Lenoir City cases, back to Lenoir City. I think we can administer justice more conveniently than they can. And that's not saying anything bad about it. And I've asked them, how do they feel about that? And they're all for that. That lightens their docket. They can give more attention to the cases that are on their dockets. The people don't have to wait as long to have their cases heard or get reset, and we can have them here. The Lenoir City cases that are made by our officers here, why shouldn't we have them here? Also, with that in mind, I would propose, and I've spoken with our clerks, I've spoken with our police administration. Those officers, I think, would appreciate being able to bring those cases to Lenoir City. They're Lenoir City cases. Moreover, what I would plan to do, and I told the print media this, is expand the court from 1 day a week to 3 days a week. And one of those 3 days being at night. Not late at night, but 5:30, 6 o'clock. So that people that do work, that pick up a ticket out here, that can't come at 9 o'clock in the morning, or can't come at 1 in the afternoon because they work, or they have to take the time off to come here, that they would have an opportunity or a forum to go to and not have to miss work. I know that having court 3 days a week as opposed to 1 day a week is a burden, will be a burden, if you will, to me, because I still have a private practice. But I'm willing to accept that challenge because I think that will ultimately help the city, it'll help the officers, it'll help the judges in Loudon, it'll make us run more efficiently from a judicial standpoint. I know it's hot, so I'm about nothing. You never let a lawyer talk because we never shut up. But so I checked with the clerks, police administration. They're all for that. They're on board. That will mean more work for our clerks. And I'll say this, those clerks that I work with or have worked with here, they were in Loudon before they came here. They're good clerks. They're honest clerks. They're hardworking clerks. They're willing to accept that. So we've got the police on board. We've got the administration here on board. And I think it's going to be something that's going to be really good for us. Our citizens don't have to go to Loudon, come here, we handle their cases. Our officers don't have to go to Loudon, come here, handle their cases. And I will be, as my oath will dictate when I take it, I will be fair to everyone. I will be understanding, but I'll be strict too. If somebody continues to go into the Walmart and steal, I'm using that as an example, then we're going to do something about it. Okay? But anyway, that was an example. With that said, with everything that I've said, I would ask the council to consider, with regard to the pay for the position, whether it's me in here or not, whether I leave September 30th or not, this position with that arrangement deserves some consideration from this board. When we have someone that's trying to help this city out and move this city forward from a judicial standpoint, it deserves some consideration by this board with regard to compensation. So whatever you all decide to do with that, that's obviously on you. But again, I'm going to close by saying I can't be more proud than to have served as your city attorney for 6.5 years. And I can't be even more proud to be able to look forward to serving as your Lenoir City judge for the next 8 years. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being colleagues and for being friends. Because I really think that you all are my friends. First and foremost, because we're always willing to help each other. I think everyone that I'm looking at right now has always offered to help me do something. And for that, I'm truly, truly grateful, including the mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. A few comments, if you may have a question or two, city council certainly may have a question. We can just bear with me here just a minute. Obviously, it's been no secret that I feel like that the court system has been probably the lowest I've seen it since being a police officer here in the 80s and early 90s. And certainly, I was thrilled to hear you say that you are willing to hold night court. I think we do need to try to accommodate the citizens of Little City. You know, they may, unfortunately, may be coming in with a ticket to you, but they may be a witness in a crime as well. And that's important that we try to accommodate when we can. Certainly, I recommended the city council to the budget committee when we passed the budget, because there's some discussion about whether or not, and I don't know if it's true or not. I know there's some social media folks out there and some bloggers out there that says otherwise, but been some discussion on whether or not that there's TCA code in place to prevent you from decreasing or raising the salary in the middle of a term. That law was taken, as I understand, that law was written in 2020, and but it also deals deals with the charter per se. And it's been my understanding, when you have a law that is created, and as long as that charter is not in conflict or illegal in some form or fashion, then the charter is the one that speaks and takes precedent over the state law, simply because it was created by the people, and in this case, by the people of North City. Now, the city charter says, the city council sets all salaries. That's what it says. It's, anybody that wants to pull that up, is welcome to do so under the MTask. They can go under MTask and look at that. However, with that being said, I think we need to be open and above board with it. The letter was sent out. I make no apologies for that. I was in hopes that the election would go and Mr. Harrison would be elected. I think he's the most qualified. The election's over with, and we're going to move on with the people's business as far as I'm concerned. And thank you for being the city attorney. You've done an excellent job. You've been here. Every time that Miss Kelso has called you, you've answered the phone. If you was in court, you would call her back. And we appreciate your service to the city. And I know that you're going to bring the court system back up to what the people of Monroe City expects, and to relieve the county of the burden somewhat as well. I did know that I had a brief conversation with the judge-elect this afternoon, or actually earlier in the week, and I told him that I certainly I want to go extra mile with this thing and make it, I want to give people the opportunity to come in and speak if they have an issue with it. But I'm going to recommend the city council, and I've called these folks, I'm getting ready to name, to ask them if they was willing to serve on and just in case, and I think the city council probably needs to make a decision. We shouldn't wait, even though I believe that the city council has the authority to set the judge's salary at any time. I don't believe that statute, and I stand to be corrected, and we have asked them to ask for an opinion We've not received that opinion yet, but I believe that, city council, the charter is gonna override that law that's, went into effect in 2020. However, to be safe and to be fair, I want to appoint a committee, and I've got some city residents and a city council person, and I'm gonna ask Mike Henline to serve as chairman of the committee. And I'm gonna ask that Tammy Powell, who I don't know, that comes by way of the police department, someone there, she's an employee in Oak Ridge, lives inside the city limits of Lenoir City.
Is that Tammy?
Tammy Powell, and Chris Walford, who is a resident out in Chestnut Ridge. And I think Captain David Flynn, I've already mentioned that name, if not, Captain David Flynn of the police department. And I'm gonna ask Mr. Henline that, and I know you've got a lot on your plate right now with the FBY, I apologize. And, I'm gonna ask that, you all, as a committee, bring back a recommendation to city council on whether or not to reestablish pay for the city judge, by August the 22nd. And I know we'll have an answer, again, it's sort of irrelevant, but, hopefully we'll have an answer within just for them. But nevertheless, it's before the new term takes office, and it's the next regular city council meeting. I also want to, have a public hearing beginning at 5:45 on that day. So if city council will take note that you will be here at 5:45, that we, establish that. One other thing, Judge, let me ask you this, and I know there's been some discussion about this. Are you still planning on being sworn in at 1 minute after midnight on the 31st?
That's fine.
Okay. All right, so,
First.
yeah, I'm sorry, on the first. So it'd be 1 minute, right? So on the first. So we're gonna have a swearing in ceremony here at City Hall at midnight or 1 minute after, on the first. So, now I'm gonna open it up to any council people that's got any comments.
Mayor, I would like to make one comment. I've been around a while. I was here when Terry Van had big plans for the Lenoir City judgeship. And I think he had a good heart for it. He had a real heart for Lenoir City, and he would have done a good job. But his salary, let's say the last several years' salary, was based on what Terry Van had planned for the Lenoir City judge and the courts. And that's why his salary was what it was. And a lot of what he had planned was exactly what Greg has proposed here tonight. You know, one day a week is not enough. I know, probably all of us on this council know why all these court cases are hurting out. And we need to get all those back here. I would love to start trying drunk driving cases and all that, and we're certified to do that. So, you know, I think that's something we need to look at, is whatever it is, you know, there's no reason that we cannot collect the revenue from all these court cases. There's no need going to Loudon, because most of it's happening in Lenoir City. And I just think it would be the thing to do. And I would like to say welcome as well, Mr. Greg Harrison. I think you'll do a great job and bring us back into the 21st century. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Let me say too, you know, Judge Van, of course, he was holding court 3 days a week in most cases, and before he got ill, and was also holding civil liability quarters for, dilapidated properties, one day a month. So, and I know that, that's going to be coming before the court system again as well. So, does anyone else have any comments? All right, I would ask that we add that to the agenda as item number 11. That, and I'll entertain a motion to approve the committee and add that, and add those names in the record as well. Ms. Maggie, I got those written down, again, I give them to you, if you guys need. Captain David Flynn, Chris Walker, Mike Enline, served as chairman, and Tammy Powell. And I would ask that that be item number 11, to approve that and to add it, and to have a recommendation brought back by council on August 22nd, along with a public hearing at 5:45.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to add it to the agenda and to approve the committee.
Mr. Simpson makes a motion to add it to the agenda and approve the meeting. Have a second.
Second.
Second by the vice mayor. Discussion. Roll call.
Inline.
Yes.
Hines.
Aye.
Wampler.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon.
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
Ms. Kelso, have I forgot anything?
No, no, sir, I think we've covered
All right,
pretty much everything.
all right. You got anything to add?
No, sir. We're good.
All right, at this time, is there anyone here who'd like to discuss something that was on tonight's agenda? Got a motion to pay the bills?
Now I'll make a motion to approve all bills and accounts to be paid when properly approved and the funds are available.
Vice Mayor makes a motion to pay the bills. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Brandon. Roll call, Ms. Maggie.
Inline.
Yes.
Hines.
Aye.
Wampler.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon.
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
All right, any other business? Got a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn, Mayor.
Motion, Mr. Henline, have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Shields. Roll call, Ms. Maggie.
Inline.
Yes.
Hines.
Aye.
Wampler.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Brandon.
Aye.
Simpson.
Aye.
We're adjourned, thank you all.
Jim?